Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Friday, February 27th. It's the last trading day of February. How crazy is that? So let's go into it and see what's going to happen today. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And how are you guys this morning? Heat maps nice and red. We called that last night. We thought it was going down. And it certainly is right here. And we could have some more going down today. So be on the lookout and look at your cues. They look like they're going to be a magnet down here, like 602. And it's at 606. So we'll definitely see what's up with that. SPY right there is also down. And that's cruising down and passing through that trend line as well. So we'll see how far that wants to go down. IWM didn't look too bad yesterday, but it is pulling back today, and it's under its trend line and rolling down off the MACD coming down. So that's the look you have. Remember, I was talking about them rolling down off the MACD. I didn't think anything was going to get crossed through. Any kind of resistance you would hit would knock them down, and that's what you're kind of seeing right here, honestly. And let's see what was running up here. RNA, that one, I don't know, I'm familiar with it. It looks like a biotech. Is it brand new? I can't even tell, or did it just come in there? It looks like a shell company. Oh, a spin-off distribution. That's why I would have never been looking at it. But anyway, it did look like a shell company. That's why I couldn't figure it out. Core Group right here, KORE. That one was running up there. I'm not even familiar with that. And NGNE right there, Neurogene. We've looked at that before. That was cruising along. Not too bad, up 25%. CDIO, we definitely know that one. It's been running recently, and Block was running after they're laying off 40% of their workforce because of AI. So Jack Dorsey's setting the trend. I'm telling you guys, just watch. That's exactly what's going to start happening here. So I've been saying for over a year and a half, 2 years that, people just are not going to have jobs. I just don't understand how people can work with AI. It's crazy. And then how do you even compete with it? And it just saves these business owners way too much money. But anyway, there you go. And AAOI is a jumper right there. And Marrow is jumping on them earnings yesterday. So there you go with them. Let's take a look and see what's going on. Snow in the forecast for Sunday. It certainly is, Luis Rodriguez. How crazy is that? And let's see what's going on with our market. So yeah, our Qs, our indices are down. Let's see. I bet we know our Mag 7's all down. And again, I didn't even put not one of them, honestly, on the night note last night. I left them blank just because none of them looked good. And even your Nvidia after your earnings. But here's Google. That I told you was going to be pulling back. That just was hitting that wall right there. Meta pulling back, hitting that wall right there. Microsoft pulling back. That was hitting a wall at the 20 as well. So, yeah, we should have known that these were going to come down, honestly. And there's their Nvidia, and that's pulling back. So they're not looking too healthy this morning, I can say that. And Tesla's falling below that trend line possibly. So not looking great right there. Let's take a look and see what else is going on with our list. AMC a little bit flat there. GameStop down. And again, that needs to get set back up. It was starting to jump up and look good. Unity wasn't looking too bad yesterday, but that's even pulling back right there. And then your Chewy right here is a little bit flat. Netflix, this one was running up. We had a good discussion about that last night, and they walked away from the deal with Warner Brothers. So Paramount's going to take the deal, but Netflix is going to make about $3 billion just walking away, which is just, I can't even fathom this, guys. It just blows my mind that they're going to make $3 billion to walk away from a deal. Like all they did was sign up for something. They never put any money out except for like their attorneys, which they already pay anyway. And not like they put a deposit down and there's a breakup fee and Paramount's going to pay it. I mean, it's crazy. So, yeah, that I just never thought was happening. And there you go. And that's why Netflix was excited. They're happy that they're walking away and getting paid big for the deal. So, I mean, that's huge money. $3 billion just to make for no reason. I mean, that's pretty wild, guys. So, pretty interesting stuff right there. Paramount's just going to fork out $3 billion just for no reason, just to break up the deal. AVGO, let's look at our semiconductors because they're pulling back. What I say last night about MU, That did look like it was coming down. It looks like it's going to be pulling back a little bit more at the moment. And TSM was falling down out of the all-time high range right there. And your SMCI right here is pulling back as well. So there you go with that. AMD, that's pulling back. So there's not many green spots or things pumping right here, except for like penny stock world or like different things, not these big caps and mega caps. Your Qualcomm pulling back. And as I was saying last night, there's your snow coming down. But as I was saying last night, any kind of resistance above it, figure it's going to come down off of it. And PayPal even pulling back right there. And what about your Intel? That is not looking so great. Just this morning, definitely getting set up, but not looking great. Dell's up after the earnings, and we were definitely talking about that, how good it was looking in IBM right there, pulling back a little. And I would wait on that one over the weekend as well. Palantir right here, if I could type it in, there you go. That's pulled back a little bit, hitting that 20. And then Sophie was pulling back as well. It didn't even get to the 20 right there yet. So, and there you are with your Palantir, Sophie. And then Sandisk right there. Sandisk, this one's pulling back too. MU, everybody else wants to pull back. They're going to pull back with it. And then, of course, Adobe and Oracle, they're not looking so hot this morning either. Look at them bad boys pulling back. So you are getting great dip opportunities. The market's not exactly ready yet. And I'm telling you, there's some geopolitical risks in the air, and there's your strategy pulling back. That's in a pretty good spot. We'll look at crypto. Bitcoin's at back to 66,070 right there, and Ethereum's back under 2,000. I saw that this morning. It was at 1959, and Solana's at $83. Ripple's at $1.38. Cardano's at 28 cents. So that is some crypto. We'll look at them real quick. And let's see, Central Florida, Hugh. It's a Central Florida Hugh gardening hydro now. And Mara did get a nice bump yesterday off of them earnings. It did pop up there. Riot, these guys weren't looking too bad, but they're down a little bit because it's hitting that resistance. Oh, I meant to hit Clean Spark. Oh, there we go. And that was down this morning as well. Now, that one looks like it's setting up really good right there. So watch for Clean Spark there. And let's continue right through and check out Robinhood right here. It was pulling back a little bit. And then your Coinbase is also pulling back too because crypto's pulling back. It had that great news with the stocks trading, but now pulling back, and bull right there. It was looking pretty damn bullish, and that's even pulling back a couple cents. And space is going up. Look at that. Aerospace and defense right there. We'll cruise through a few more of them. But Boeing just looks like it has to set up there. Here's Lockheed Martin. It's back up today, bouncing off that 20. And Northrop Grumman right there is barely up. It's just kind of hanging out. That doesn't have the best look. Had a way better look yesterday. Huntington Ingalls coming down. So very, very interesting right here. And we'll definitely see how these open up too. I mean, it is a weird market by a long shot. Defend right there, that's pulling back too, and that's an interesting look coming down. And ITA right there is an interesting one. That's also pulling back. So let me look at these today and see how they open up. Just the old aerospace and defense, but I'm still not convinced that they're just not ready to do something over there. And Nike, if I could type that in, there you go. That's down, and that's a good setup right there. Just watch for the dips. And Lulu right there could pull back a little bit more. And your Disney, Luis Rodriguez, is down right there. How about Oxy's back up? And there's your oil blasting back off, guys. ExxonMobil back up this morning. Saw these. And CVX back up. What about your gold right there? It was looking pretty good. And it doesn't look too bad, I must say. That's a pretty decent look right there. It's trying to get curled up. Let's see what silver's up to this morning. That's up right there. And that's looking pretty strong as well. It's a little, I mean, it has a little bit of a flat look, but I could see them curling up. So that's silver and gold. And let's see what else is going on over here. ONDS, that's down a little bit. That's got a little setup, not looking too bad. Galaxy is down, and let's look at crypto so I don't forget right there. You can see Bitcoin at 66,095, and let me see how the chart looks this morning. It is a little pullback, obviously. It was getting through the 20, and now it's getting it's getting lost in 20 right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on this today to see it. It kind of looks like healthy pullback to me. To be completely honest with you, it doesn't look too bad right there. That's Ethereum, same look. I mean, they've all had the exact same look, which makes it easy. You only have to really look at Bitcoin and know exactly what everything's going to do. But yeah, there's your Ripple and Solana, all the exact same look right there. So Solana's still through that 20 right there. And I do think it's a healthy pullback. So nothing too crazy. And if there's some storms coming, Luis Rodriguez will be really cold. Boy, I'm telling you, this thing's been way down. I think that's going to be a good opportunity right there. Probably the one that you could actually go over the weekend with if you really wanted to, but you got to be careful. I'd still buy it out a little further just in case, but that one's looking pretty nice right there. And let's look at PSKY. That's up this morning a little bit. Warner Brothers is down a little bit right there because nobody's fighting over them anymore. And ASTS, that's pulling back. At the moment, look at that. That does not look like it wants to curl through right now. UMAC was looking, I typed that in wrong every time. UMAC looked like it wanted to run last night. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. And Redwire was pulling back. They had earnings yesterday. Rocket Lab obviously had earnings yesterday, and that's pulling back. So it doesn't look like a lot of the earnings helped out a whole lot either yesterday. As a matter of fact, nuclear was NKLR just a little bit flat there. And Oklo, OKLO, hold on. Let me just do that. Oklo right there. That looks like it's going to be getting set up. What were some of the copper ones? I totally forget what the copper calls are. That's not even, here you go. CPS, a copper. These things look good. That's going to roll off that MACD and get rocking and rolling. So, and that's not even a copper one. That just has copper in the name. I always forget what the copper ones are, Luis Rodriguez. I got to write that down and keep them on my list over here near the quantum ones because I completely forget which ones they are. And like the uranium plays, I always forget about them. Like what they all are. I know UEC because Michael Anthony likes it, but that's about it. Anyway, let's keep on cruising right through. That EOSE got destroyed yesterday, and it's still going down. So watch for that dip. And USAR pulling back right there. UAMY also pulling back, and your 4Us didn't look too bad, but that's even pulling back. So the entire market looks like a little pullback. Carmen right there, aerospace and defense hitting that 20, not getting through at the moment. Katos was pulling back, but then they have an offering last night, so that's why that's way down there. Nothing that we'll watch for that dip, let's put it that way, after the offering, but it needs time to get set back. Mobilicom hadn't been looking bad, but then it hit that 20, and then that one's kind of just kind of hanging out there this morning. Nasdaq, that's getting set up right there, I can say that. And IMRX, that's always flat in the morning. And CMG right there pulling back, that has a really nice setup, and so does Cracker Barrel, and it's pulling back. So a Cracker Barrel could get moving right there. What's that plug doing? Not too bad this morning. QuantumScape wasn't looking too bad, and that's even pulling back right there. And let's see what else is going on with AMPX, because that was looking pretty decent, and that's even pulling back. So, I mean, you got like everything just pulling back right there. It looks like I can't find anything that actually grabs my attention, although the Mag 7s are getting a little better. Nvidia is only down like 20. They don't look any better right there, that's for sure. So we're not even going to waste our time. They're just a little gray, but they don't look any better. Energy right there looks good. And what is that one? Netflix. That's what it is. That's why it's all green. That's Netflix right there. That's Dell right there. That's Autodesk did well yesterday too after its earnings. Block did good. So the only ones that are up are the ones that did pretty good on earnings, it looks like, or energy, oil, and gas, and then that whole sector's up. And then, of course, your Lockheed Martin's up a little bit, but not a whole lot of bright spots this morning, that's for sure. Let's see what you guys are looking at over here. And let me take a look. VEEA. Oh, let me write that down. VEEA. And let's see. That one, it spiked up today. I don't know. We'd have to look at that as it opens up. It is having a little bit of a pullback right there, but it did run, that's for sure. And CDIO, we saw that this morning. That cardio diagnostics, it's been running right there. That one's been pretty wild. And CoreWeave, they got hammered. It wasn't that yesterday they got taken out. Yeah, their earnings, I remember. And Yeah, that got smashed down there, and then your 20 is going to push it down. So CoreWeave coming down some more right there. That's for sure. And Mara, we said that one, Central Garden, and that one did get a nice bump yesterday after its earnings and started to run there. ABVX is that Apivax right there, and that one that doesn't look too bad, Luis Rodriguez. That does look like a little bit of a bottom right there. Just watch out at 132. That's like $10 away, so that could actually move right there. It looked a lot closer, but yeah, that does look like it has some room right there. And Core was moving this morning, and that could be the runner right there. Look at that bad boy. That could continue to run. Good old Core Group, and I don't know what they did. A definitive agreement to be acquired by Searchlight Capital Partners and Abry, something like that, partners, an all cash deal, value in the company at $9.25 per share. That's why I had to jump. It was all the way down at $5. It practically doubled. Wow, that's pretty impressive right there. They valued that company way higher than it was already at. That's why the big old gap up right there. So pretty good right there for Core. Snap was down a little bit. Reddit had been looking pretty good. That's up this morning, and that doesn't look too bad to kind of cruise along. If you want to check that out, Rich Tech Robotics is down, and your Lithium Americas was down also, and your Wolf Speed was also down. TerraWolf was also down this morning. So not a whole lot of bright ones right there. But let's check out the penny stocks. I saw this one down a little bit. And maybe we have to wait for next week. I don't know. It could still get cruising here. This one's in that such an interesting spot, or you could have a nice dip and a rip. So it could go either way real quick. And obviously the penny stock's very volatile. The market's very volatile. So it's kind of hard to tell. I'm not going to lie. And data vault, like I say, just watch for these dip opportunities, and it should roll right off that MACD. This one's pretty solid. We've been watching it for a little while. And your Faraday Future Intelligence right here, FFAI, and that was looking pretty good. It's hitting the MACD, bouncing down a little. We'll take a look. And again, every piece of resistance that I said that was going to hit it. Yeah, anything was going to hit today is probably going to get rejected. You're seeing that this morning, and I would assume it may continue as well. Here's that JTAI. We were kind of waiting for that one for next week too, so let's just wait for that. And it should look pretty good. Hopefully it just doesn't go popping on Monday morning, but you can't take that risk right there because that would be a little crazy, and it still has a little setup time, so it looks like we have some time. Duolingo got hammered yesterday on its earnings, and again, it was in the 90s, and now it's at 88. And like I said, they just happen to have a business that AI. They got beat by by AI. AI came in and just that the company's just not useful anymore. I mean, people aren't learning how to learn language using it to learn languages anymore, because not only does AI do everything and can translate it for you and all that good stuff, but then they have them Apple earbud things, whatever the heck they're called, and that can translate people like live. And so why would you who's learning this now? I mean, when you're just going to buy the Apple things and put them in your ears when you travel around, and then you can listen and understand things. You can't speak it, but you'll be able to understand what the heck's going on, and then maybe you can start to learn it that way a lot better than probably Duolingo. So unfortunately, I don't know the company too well. I've never looked at it. Let's see. The free, fun, and effective way to learn. Now it's free. Look at that. And so yeah, they had to kind of make it free. I think you used to have to pay for it, and now it's probably free. They can't even give it away, guys. So that just tells you something right there. They practically can't give their service away anymore because of AI. So you'll see that with a lot of things, I bet. AI is going to be a big disruptor. You guys know what I've been saying. And check out that ENSC. We were early for this, weren't we, Doge Mom and 9? Check that out. I mentioned that, what was it, last week? I was talking about, had that quick spike up, and that one did blast off right there. And Boyle right here is looking pretty good for your natural gas. And REMX is at rare earth and strategic metals, and that's even up today. This one is just wild, guys. I'm telling you. This is a crazy play. Even when these things are down, that thing still kind of runs somehow, and I don't understand why or how, but it certainly does. So REMX, definitely a good one right there. MMA is a good one to watch. You said the mixed martial arts group, and that had been beaten down, and that one could be a great one to watch. Another good penny stock right there, Doge Mama 9 MMA. So yeah, keep an eye on that one right there. And let's see, what a laptop try. He's hungry for hungry and coffee deprived. That's pretty funny. Arlo, let's see. That looked like a runner this morning, and it was running up this morning. Arlo, I saw that this morning, so that was a nice one. And obviously, Dell, we were super early to the party on that. If you were listening to me, I just kept saying, Cadence, that this thing was set up there, and obviously that's why it was set up, because it wanted to rock and roll for its earnings, and it certainly did. And JEM, let's see, 91 seconds. There you go. And that's pretty beautiful. Look at that. And that did go ripping there this morning real quick. So good job, Laptop Travel and JEM, some Cayman Holiday Holdings. I'm not even familiar with that gem. But there you are with this gem over here. It's a red gem that we're looking at this morning, and it does look like the market could be a good Q put day. Let's just take a look at our indices real quick one last time, and yeah, not looking too hot. Let's say that. Not this morning. I mean, you do have your support line right there, and you do have it trying to bounce back off the MACD, but I have a feeling they're going to try to leave it just like this, so we might be down. This looks like it could be a magnet right there, like that 601 area. So just beware of that, because you're back at 607. It looked like it bounced up some. Oh no, it's just kind of dipping down there. So, and oh yeah, it did bounce up. It was at 605. I was gonna say, wasn't it lower? 605. It was. So it is bouncing up a little, but that's not saying anything right here. It could just stair step its way down, like I said, all the way down to the 601 area. It looks like it might do it, and then it'll hit that MACD too. So we'll see how they want to leave these things, and how the market looks. Their circle, what is that doing? That is down this morning. I just wanted to look there. Yeah, it looks like they want to pull back a little bit. That looks like it wants to come down. And then your IWM right there does not look as, it looks a little bit better. It's just a little pullback, but it's over to 20, so it doesn't look as bad right there. Let's see what the news stories say. 9 out of 10 bets this fund manager made outperformed over the past year. Here's his next two plays. There you go. Stock future slide and wholesale inflation reading. What the heck does that say? Reading looms? What the hell are they talking about? I have no idea. Oh, the wholesale inflation. That's right. PPIs this morning, guys. I meant to mention that at the beginning of the show. Not the thing I want to hit. Right here is what I meant to hit. So yeah, your PPI comes out at 8:30. Core PPI, all that good stuff. So good inflation data, and that's obviously not looking beautiful as the market looks, I guess. So maybe the market's trying to tell us the PPI is going to come in a little hot too. And then you still have your Iran tensions going on. So I would say a little bit crazy of a morning on a Friday. So we knew this yesterday. We were saying that you have to be careful. Paramount Hollywood ending. How crazy was that? They came in and overbid Netflix, and Netflix walked away with $3 billion, or that's how much about they're going to walk away with. I'll have to find out the exact number, but it's right around there. $3 billion, I'm pretty sure. It's a pretty wild amount. It's a staggering amount to walk away for a deal, I'll tell you that. And what the heck does that say? Oh, Block soars after Dorsey gets all in on AI and cuts half of the staff. See, I told you that's why it was running right there. And Wall Street loves it. So when these companies are all going to start cutting staff after Jack Dorsey just did it, they're all going to follow suit. They're all going to get a quick pump up on that news there. So you can kind of play them pumps. And the Dow futures fall. Paramount and Netflix shares rally right there. And we talked about them. And again, oil and gas looking pretty good. That's for sure. And I was saying USO last night, we should have been buying it. I was talking about it in the old when we were doing the Trend Spider last night. So that was a good time. And I appreciate them having me on. And again, I'll have Mike on the show, and we'll have a good show about Trend Spider, and he can show us all the great things. Because like I said, I learned like 20 new things just last night watching him do it. and I have to add. Oh, that's cool. It didn't do it, but yeah. So you like your news feed and stuff like this. Let me see. Where did it even go? Um, I don't know. I can't even. Oh, your reports right there. You can add that widget. There's none right now, obviously, because the things are coming out. But yeah, you can get all the earnings and stuff like that. It's pretty wild. Oh, and the news was the other one. So then any stock ticker you click on, and we'll just click on like Apple right here. The news feed comes up. This is from yesterday, so no news on Apple. Let's see what had news today. Let me just look and see. We'll test it out real quick. RNA. Let's just look at that one because it's popped up there this morning. And let's see, look at 4:43 this morning, 3 hours ago. There's some good news on it right there. So yeah, this thing, and I'm not sure where it comes from, but Bloomberg. So yeah, I don't have Bloomberg, or that's Benzinga. So I don't even have Benzinga either. I know Ben pays for the Benzinga, but this has access to the Bloomberg and Benzinga. So it's pretty awesome. And then you get all kinds of reports and all kinds of anything you want right there. So it's pretty wild. And I'll have Mike come on and teach us how to exactly use it. Way better, let's put it that way. And then the other great thing, he was using the sidekick right here, and you can see I was doing it yesterday. Look at this thing right here. You summarize all the recent news for Sophie. You put in the date though, and or for the earnings right here. I did it for Rocket, and you put in the earnings right here. He gave us the prompt and analyzed any stock ticker earnings announcement today and put the date in, and then what was reported, the EPS versus the forecast, blah, 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 blah. It didn't even give it a whole buy or sell rating based on that order and explanation why. And look at this thing. It's a buy rating here. And this was what? RNA? No, this was Rocket. I'm sorry. This was yesterday's Rocket. So yeah, interesting right there. I'm not gonna lie. Very cool stuff. Very cool AI things that they've integrated. And again, I don't probably use half of the cool things that TrendSpider has to offer. So I want to start using more of it, and I'll have Mike show us how to do it. So that was a lot of fun last night, and I did learn more things. You're always learning in the market, that's for sure. But anyway, that's what we have this morning. It is down. It might be a Q put type of day. Ethereum back under 2,000, Bitcoin 66,000, low 66. So things are pulling back a little bit on this Friday, and of course, we'll be watching for our oil and our gold and silver. And then obviously, which gold's down, silver's up. Weird look right there. And of course, we'll be watching LMT and the aerospace and defense ones to see what they want to do, because they could easily get bouncing and curling. And we want to see what's happening here with our geopolitical risks. So that is what I have for you guys this morning. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Laptop Travel Cadence, Luis Rodriguez in Central Florida Gardening, and of course, Joseph Levy. Hope you're feeling better over there, recouping. Robin driving to work, probably hanging out. Sam might be driving to work as well. And everybody else that tunes in, greatly appreciate. I'll see you guys on in the Discord, and we'll see what this market wants to do. Maybe we'll be shorting them Qs down and making some good moves on that. We'll check it out at the Discord time, 9:15, 9:30, as the market's going to open. I'll keep you guys posted, and we'll be live trading in there. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. You guys enjoy your last trading day of February 2026. How crazy is that? It's going to be March already on what? Sunday. I mean, tomorrow's February 28th, and then all of a sudden March 1st is Sunday. So for a snow day there, Luis Rodriguez, possibly in New Jersey. So you guys enjoy your day on a Friday, and be sure to lock in your profits and trade smart. And then goodbye. Good luck. See you later. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day, everybody.